Be'ezrat Hashem, we're back at the limud of Shulchan Aruch, Halachot Shabbat, Siman Reish Nud Bet 252. We're in the middle of Seif Bet, Seif 2. We're actually in the middle of Mishnah Berurah, Seif Katan Yud Zayin. Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem, today is the 26th of the month of Shvat, Monday, the second day of the week of Parashat Shabbat, Parashat Terumah. So the rabbi says over here in Mishnah Berurah, Be'veitor, Etzon Olamar, Shalom Beit Israel. So you gave something to a goy to do a task before Shabbat. Last week we made a mistake. We thought when the Shulchan Aruch says in his house, right? Meaning you give a goy to do a task before Shabbat. So it's that we thought maybe there's a havamina it's talking about in the house of the Jew. Says Mishnah Berurah, don't make that mistake. Obviously, it doesn't mean in the Jewish house. Because over there, even though you already set up a payment to him before, you made an agreement, but if he's doing it in your house, it's going to be seen as if he's doing a task on your behalf on Shabbat, which is going to be asur. He says, he's quoting over here, the Chaye Adam that says that it's forever, never allowed. Even if it's something that the people hire with a contractor or whatever, if it's hired with a contract, agreed set amount, never any task could be performed by a goy in your house for Shabbat. Why? Because of that problem. Because people always will be speculative of you hiring the goy and specifically tell him to do it on Shabbat, and therefore all this will be always asur, and for sure, especially for sure if you didn't set up a price, you're going to tell him you're doing the work as he does the task, and when he completes the task, that's going to be a problem in its own. That's going to be a problem to give it to him to work in his house, in the goy's house on Shabbat if you don't have a task, if you don't have a set price for that task. But the over here says Chaye Adam, if you tell a goy, here's a contract, and everybody knows, the goy paves your driveway, but only because by a contract. Nobody pays a driveway on a daily labor, right? Baruch Hashem, many people here involved in this video, in this learning, that know that it's what's his name. That we're talking about contractors. Always contractors designed prior to commencement of the job, and even though if you have the set price, still a goy cannot do it ever for you on Shabbat because people might think otherwise. Ve'im lo katzatz. So ve'im lo katzatz. However, there is a prohibition if you did not set a price. Haynu shelo hitna im Israel odot scharo, v'haynu yodim etzapeh letashlum sachar asur. So as long as a goy is going to be performing the task and he's going to wait for a salary and he doesn't know how much he's going to get, but it's going to be discussed after, that task will be totally prohibited on Shabbat. And also the rabbi says, we could never say...
If you say, just do the job and then we'll figure out the price after, it's asur.
Asur, because now...
The goy just says, yeah, I'll take care of it, don't worry. Like with the contractors, happens a lot.
Right.
I'll take care of it, don't worry. And then boom, he slams you with a bill.
Right, because he's not working. He's no longer working for the money. He's working for you. He's going to take care of your needs, and then later on he'll bill you. You'll negotiate the price, and that's going to be asur. That's going to be asur.
But he's still working for himself. Let's say.
Yes, true.
Some things is like a known price.
Okay, no, 1 second. If it's a known price. One second. We said that if it's a known price, we'd say that's okay. In the goyish possession, yes.
So as long as you know the ballpark price, it's fine.
Again, if it's not a ballpark price, it has to be set price.
No, set price.
Yeah.
When you do a set price, that means you almost signed the contract.
Right. That's actually.
Sometimes the guy tells you, it happens all the time. I don't know 100% until I take the thing apart. I take whatever you need to do, right?
Then here's that guy.
No, 1 second. What the Zohar is saying. So let's say you have a boombox. Let's go back 20 years. So you have a boombox, and your boombox has to be repaired. So you come to the shop on Erev Shabbat, if there is no set price, you cannot leave your boombox with a goy. What's the problem? Oh, unless a goy tells. Let me ask you a question. A goy tells you, okay, my repair is $65 an hour on your boombox. I approximate the job 3 hours, and it could be more than 3 hours. Per hour, it's $65. Is that called set price or not?
Yes.
Of course, it's a set price because you know the set price already. He's working for his set price, $65 an hour.
Now, if you tell them don't do it until you call me and I give you the authorization, that's something else.
No, even if he does it on Shabbat, we don't care about the technicalities. The question is right now, on Shabbat, I hire him to perform the task, whether it's 3 hours or 2 hours or 5 hours. That was negotiated. The price is already set.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to work for you on Shabbat. He could do it on Sunday. He could do the romantic repair on Sunday. That's his job. That's his problem.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's continue. Be'erev Shabbat. So v'imra also melacha. So that Yutet. Let's see. Let's go to Shulchan Aruch for a second. So asur ve'im lo katzaz asur be'erev Shabbat. Oh, so if you did not hear, Ramah telling you clearly in Shulchan Aruch that it's prohibited to give him a job on erev Shabbat if you don't have a set price. כשנותנו לו בערב שבת, מחזיק כאילו נותנו לו על מנת שיעשה בשבת. Because here, when you give him a product, an item before Shabbat, it's as if you're telling him to do the job on Shabbat. כשקצץ. However, when you set the price, now that the prices are set, the goy is performing the task on his own and for himself. לה מחזיק כאילו אומר לו כן. It doesn't seem like you're telling him to do the job on Shabbat, because you already set the price. וכן כתבו הפוסקים, אומר לו כן. כתבו פוסקים, וכשיש שהות לגמרי בבעוד יום מותר אפילו בערב שבת ואפילו לא קצת לכולי עלמא. So the rabbis teach us, let's say you told him on Friday, here's a job. And you did not set a price, but there's plenty of time to do it. If he drops everything, like the world does not exist, and only you exist in your item, your product, he will fix your product or whatever it is, and he will be finished before Shabbat. Many poskim say there's no problem, even if you don't have a set price. And what does the Ramadan mean over here, be'erev Shabbat, before Shabbat? It's to teach you that מותר מן השבת ליתן לו אפילו שאין יכול לגומרה קודם השבת. Because now it's like this. But let's say, to teach you that, let's say you're giving him something on Wednesday or Thursday, and there is not enough time to perform the task, to finish the task before commencement of Shabbat, right? There's not enough time. So the question is, are you allowed to give it to him, yes or no? Are you allowed to give it to him, yes or no? And that's what the Rama wants to teach you. The Rama wants to teach you, that what? That you could give him even if there is no time, even if he needs the Shabbat also to fulfill the task. Meaning, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be not enough for him to finish the job. And he might even finish it on Shabbat. Not a problem. You could give the item to him without any question at all, says Mr. Berurah. Okay? One second. You guys are off the speaker for some reason. What?
If my AC goes down 10 minutes before Shabbat, and the guy tells me, listen, it's going to cost you $500, he can do it through Shabbat.
No problem. Now, you ask you ask something very important. Your AC. You see, that's not like any other job. Over here, we said a goy is asur, prohibited to do a task for you on Shabbat, where people might think you hired him specifically for that task on Shabbat. Okay? Now, the problem over here with air conditioning is different. There's a different halacha where there is called a tsa'ar. Telling a goy to do a job for you, asur, it's shvut. Shvut means you have to refrain, you can't tell others to perform a job for you on Shabbat. But shvut is what? Gzerah, refraining from telling a goy to do a task for you, it's a gzerah midrabanan. It's the rabbis coming in and telling you, what? Telling you to respect Shabbat. For respect of Shabbat, you should refrain from doing a task. Telling a goy to do something for you, to fix your air conditioner on Shabbat. However, there is a second component to this. The second component is this. We have a rule in the halacha במקום צער לא גזרינן רבנן. Whenever there is sufficient suffering and there's going to be a big tsar, pain and anguish to an individual, then you're allowed to actually tell a goy on Shabbat, go fix for me. Like for instance, in New York, when it's freezing, on Shabbat, your boiler broke down, chas v'shalom, you could tell a goy on Shabbat, find a goy, please go call a goy for me. The best is you tell one goy, your neighbor, the super of the building or something like that, you tell a goy, go please call me a plumber. A goyish plumber. And he goes and calls a goyish plumber. That's the best of the best scenario, where you tell one goy to tell the other goy to do the repairs. That's the best. That's shvut. The shvut, then that's more lenient. However, but here, since it's a big pain, suffering of not having a heat in the house, or chas v'shalom here in Florida, not to have air conditioning. Somebody asked me, we were in the yeshiva, we were discussing, what is worse? Not having heat in the winter or not having AC in the summer? What is worse?
I think it's the same, I believe.
No. We in the yeshiva, we finalized in the yeshiva, it's much worse not to have AC in the summer than not to have heat in the winter. Why is that? Because the heat, you could dress up. You could put on 20 sweaters, 30 sweaters, warm yourself up. You could always warm yourself up from heat, from cold. There is nothing you could do against heat. You hear? So it comes out that the air conditioning is needed much more than the boiler. So here you asked me, on Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, even at Shabbat, if your air conditioner chas v'shalom broke down, you could actually tell a goy to come and fix it 100%, no problems at all. Because of tsa'ar that it's going to cause your family not to have heat. And I just went through it with my Chinese landlord before. That's why I was forced to move. I had a 5-year lease. I was forced to move from that house for 7 months. We had suffering with air conditioning.
And one last question, because I have to go back.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the price is set before or not set before.
Not a problem at all. In this matter, that's what I'm saying. If the price is set before, not a problem. That's without any questions. But if the air conditioner broke on Shabbat, the broiler broke on Shabbat, you tell them go fix it, and you will not lose out. A goy, you could tell a goy you will not lose out, and he does it, and obviously you mean you will pay him. You cannot set a price for him on Shabbat. Okay, but you tell him you will not lose out. Here in Florida, it's not a problem because the contractors actually always win in courts. So they could just put a lien on a person and they know that they're going to get their money. Not like in New York, a contractor cannot put a lien and evict the person. That's a bigger, worse problem. Anyway, so let's continue. I told you, we continue, no problem. Erev Shabbat, okay. The Berurah, Hamishi, okay. So that was the question. The question was, if the Ramah was concerned, guys, put on mute, please, put on mute. And so the Ramah was more concerned if you have work on, you hire the guy on Wednesday and Thursday, Shumuflag min Shabbat, it's too far away from Shabbat. Mutar leten lo afilu she'en yachol ligomra kodem HaShabbat, even if the guy cannot finish the Shabbat, the job without Shabbat, kivan shelo amar lo sheyaseh b'Shabbat, since when you give a prior item to a goy on the days before preceding the Shabbat, you're not telling a goy to work at Shabbat. You're telling a goy to do the job, and he's doing the job, even though it comes out that he does work at Shabbat. It's not your problem at all. Here it says Ish Mazliach. Zohar, are you there? Rabbi Zohar. Okay, very good. Okay, so let me see. Let me see, 1 second. Hold on a second. Let me add Markel. Okay. Where's my... What's going on? I don't know. He was trying to get into the conversation. Okay. All right. Here it is. איפה? אני פה, עכשיו אנחנו לומדים הלכות שבת, איפה אתה? אני בגרש, איפה אני? אוקיי, אני מוכן. אוקיי. Zohar, are you there? Okay, let's continue. 1 second. This phone is driving me crazy. Okay. All right. Okay. In order to hear you, I have to put up the speaker is off now. You hear me? Zohar, you hear me? Okay, good. Okay, I have to have the phone in my ear because something like I have to get a different phone. Okay. So now so Mishnah Berurah, that was Mishnah Berurah that says you are allowed to hire a goy on Wednesday, Thursday, and even though he's going to finish the Shabbat and Shabbat. Says Mishnah Ish Mazliach number 3, והקפחיים כתב שדעת מרן לפסוק שהארי והרמב"ם שאם לא קצץ אפילו ביום רביעי וחמישי אסור אלא אם כן יכול לגמור קודם השבת עיין שם. So Kapachayim says if you are you're giving an item to a goy and you did not set a price on the project, and you know for a fact that a goy tells you, I must work on Shabbat, he says here, asur to hire him on Shabbat. If he is not able to complete the job before Shabbat. If he's able to complete the job before Shabbat, no problem. Even if he told you, maybe I'm going to need to work on Shabbat. That would be still, that maybe doesn't mean anything, because really, he just wants to be on the safe side, he's telling you that. But here, since the job cannot physically be done before Shabbat, and he's telling you, I must work on Shabbat, says Kapachayim that you must, and according to Rumaran, Shulchan Aruch, and Rambam, you must, and Rif, that you must set the price for the item for the job to be complete. If you didn't do it, it would be Asur, according to this three Shittot, not like what the Mishnah Berurah explaining the Rema. Okay, Siv Katan Cha'av, the Yesh Cholkim, so he says, Asur Erev Shabbat, and there's okay. יש חולקים אם עושה לו בחינם דהיינו בטובת הנאה. So there we said the issue was that there is מחלוקת on Maran, Shulchan Aruch and Rama. What's the מחלוקת? Shulchan Aruch says if you tell a goy that that he's doing the task and you're going to owe him something, I owe you. So we said I owe you is Maran says that's enough. That's enough of a good reason why a goy could perform a task for you on Shabbat. Rama says no, I owe you is not enough. I owe you is nowhere near because you did not. That's not called setting a price. Okay, that's not called setting a price. And he says that's yesh cholkim. Uspira lehu. So those people, says Mishnah Berurah, explaining the kalo katzatz v'adata de Israel ka'avid. Okay, here it's not like you said. Popo is a popo right here. You did not set. That's not called you set a price, right? Because you tell him that you're going to owe him something. I owe you. It's not a price. There's no money there. Since there's no money involved, so that's going to be asur. That's going to be the issue here according to Rema. Okay. That's right. Because he's doing it for you. He's working on your behalf. Asur be'erev Shabbat, and that's going to be asur on erev Shabbat. Vayan b'darkei Moshe. However, looking further in darkei Moshe. The maskim le'ayesh cholkim. So Darkei Moshe agrees against the Rama with the Yesh Omrim. With those that say it's asur. Vayen b'ma shekatuv le'er b'siman zeh b'Mishnah Berurah. So look further on. So here you're doing it b'chinam. He's doing your task for you on b'chinam only on the fact that you're telling him that you're going to owe him something. So why is that asur? Im lo she'ayenu Yehudi ba'atzmo matchil im Yisrael lomar sheyaseh lo b'chinam. So it says in Mishnah Berurah, when you as a Jew approaching a goy, according to Rama, if you approached him and you said to him, I'm going to owe you tovat hana'ah, I owe you something, so do this for me on Shabbat, right? Do this not on Shabbat, do this before Shabbat. You gave him an item before Shabbat, and you told the goy, I owe you something. Says in Mishnah Berurah, that's when Rama means it's asur. But if a goy approached you, and goy says, let's say you gave a goy item. You brought an item to the repair shop.
Speaker.
A little bit. Here now it's working. Okay. So now you brought an item to the repair shop. Right? So what's happening is the goy, and now you're talking about the prices, and you didn't set the price yet. The goy tells you, you know what? I know you have a lawnmower on Sunday I need your lawnmower to fix my lawn. Right? If I rent it, it's $25. But, you know what? I don't want to rent it. I want to borrow from you the lawnmower on Sunday. I'll repair the job for you now on the condition you lend me on Sunday the lawnmower. Save me money. Right? So what do? In that case, Rama says it's okay. Even though it's Tovat Hana'ah, there is a promise. There's no payment.
Because what? Because he asked for an advance?
Yes. Not in advance. He initiated that you owe me. If he initiates I owe you, meaning you owe him, amen. If he initiates that you owe him, that is allowed to be done before Shabbat. You gave him the item before Shabbat. That's already set price. אז ודאי דעתו על הטובה שקיבל ממנו מכבר. The guy is not working for you. He's not doing the repairs, even though he's going to do it on Shabbat. He's not doing it for you. He's doing it for that lawnmower you're going to lend him on Sunday.
הוא צריך להיות קבלן כאילו.
לא קבלן. He's doing טובת הנאה.
שבת אסור לו לעבוד בכלל.
מותר לו הגוי.
גוי עובד שלך אסור לו לעבוד בכלל.
No, again, so you not understand. Before you open your mouth, listen carefully. I came to the mechanic shop. Hello, אתה שומע? אני רוצה שהוא יתקן לי משהו. I'm telling him to fix something for me. He says, so Shulchan Aruch says, you give it to him 5 minutes before Shabbat.
Okay.
And then you're going to take it 5 minutes after Shabbat.
Okay.
It's mutar. Why? As long as you set a price.
הוא עושה לעצמו כאילו.
כן, בגלל you have a set price. So Maran says more than that. You didn't tell him you're going to pay him $25. Maran says, you told him I owe you something. I owe you something. So Maran says, okay, he could do that for you. The guy could work for you in his repair shop on Shabbat, no problem. But Rama says, no. If you told him I owe you, that's not enough. If a guy tells you that you owe him, that's okay.
צריך אותו ממנו.
Okay, if he starts to say you owe him, that's okay. Because he's not doing it for you, he's working for that debt. He wants to collect that lawnmower, he wants to borrow it from you on Sunday, he's working for that and not for you. Okay, it's like already set up a price. ואם ראה הוא עושה, so now it says Mishnah רמה, כ"ב, sorry, שולחן ערוך continues, ואם עשה הוראו מלאכתו בשבת, אם היה עוסק בטובת הנאה, צריך לומר לו שלא יעשה בה בשבת. So, ואם ראה הוא עושה מלאכתו בשבת. Okay, so now, listen to this. You're passing by a guy's house. Sounds like from the Shulchan Aruch. If you're passing by the whole guy's house and he's working on your product on Shabbat, אם היה עוסק בטובת הנאה, צריך לומר לו שלא יעשה בה בשבת. If there is no set price and he is working because you told him I owe you, right? And you see the guy to do the job on Shabbat, he's doing it for you. So he says, even though that we already not that we set the price. Again, Rosh Maran Shulchan Aruch is going to be concentrating on IOU for the job, and you see the guy is doing the job on your behalf on Shabbat. Sounds like Mishnah Shulchan Aruch tells me you must tell him to not do the work on Shabbat. Tell him to stop to do it for you. Why? So says Mishnah Berurah. Look at Mishnah Berurah, Siv Katan Chavbet. אף שהמחבר הקל למעלה ליתן לו אף בטובת הנאה בעוד יום, even though, says Mishnah Berurah, Shulchan Aruch is very lenient, that you're allowed to give to Goy 5 minutes before Shabbat to do a job for you on the condition you owe him something. Says, ואין לו לחוש על מה שיעשה בשבת אפילו אם הוא יודע שיעשה כיוון שאינו מצווהו על זה. You should, over there it says, even though, the reason is because you didn't command the Goy to do the task for you on Shabbat. Now says that if you see him doing the task for you on Shabbat, כמו שכתבנו להם, right? As we already explained, that ברור זה מכל מקום שכשבא לביתו ומצאו שעושה, מחזה דמידתי אבית. So now that what? If the goy sees you watching him doing the job for you on Shabbat, it's transfer back, the goy is doing a task for you. So in his mind, he's not doing anymore on IOU. He's doing it there to make you happy. Right? מה אומר לך? Okay. You told the guy to fix something. אמרת לו תתקן משהו.
אתה לא מבין בכלל.
אז תשמע, אמרת לו ערב שבת תתקן. הוא אומר לך, טוב, אני אעשה לזה, אתה חייב לי, right? You owe me something. Good. So now when on Shabbat you see him fixing the product, אתה רואה שהוא מתקן את זה בשבת אצלו, בבית של גוי. עכשיו, והוא רואה שאתה רואה אותו, למה הוא עושה את זה עכשיו? דווקא בשבילך. למה? He wants to make you happy, that's why he's doing it.
זה בעיה גדולה.
That on Shabbat will be problem. כיוון שאינו מקבל שכר על זה, because he doesn't yet, there is no price set, צריך לומר לו שלא יעשה. So therefore you have to tell him, don't do it on Shabbat. אבל אם התנה עמו בתחילה לתת לו שכר, but, okay, sorry, the loan more, it's already like setting up a price. We have to make up something else. You owe me something in Avir. Something in the end you'll pay me, right?
Okay.
That would be Asur, because there is no set price. But once there is a set price and you see a goy doing something for you, that will be, you don't have to tell him anything. But if there is no set price, that just I owe you.
בשבת יכול לדבר, אתה אומר.
No. But Shabbat, you have to tell them. Because you spoke to him before
אתה
Shabbat.
לא יודע איך לעשות לך את זה או לא.
I know, you see him working the product for you on Shabbat.
למה הוא מדליק אור עכשיו לעצמו דומה?
No, or he's fixing your item on Shabbat and he's a locksmith, he's a goldsmith. He's fixing your sword or whatever it is, right? So if he sees you, he's changing his mind. He's not doing it for the promise that you made him. He's doing it to satisfy you now.
בטח. זה...
So Shulchan Aruch, you have to tell him to stop. You hear what's going on? Zohar. לעשות? Okay.
אני...
What? One more time?
I didn't get the last part. I got distracted.
Okay, so Shulchan Aruch, so let's finish with this. So Shulchan Aruch says like this. If you gave a goy an item to fix for you on Shabbat, no, on Friday, and you didn't set a price, you told him, you know what, I have connections with the president, I have connections with the governor, with the mayor, I owe you, I'm going to take care of you. So now, you see on Shabbat he's doing the job. He's fixing the product for you on Shabbat. You gave it to him before Shabbat. Good. So Maran says it's allowed. On one condition, says Maran. However, if you come by on Shabbat and you see him working on your product on Shabbat, and he sees you see him, says Maran, you should tell him to stop. Why?
because הבעיה פה שהוא מסתכל עליך.
Right. The moment that he sees you, he wants you to be proud of his job.
נכון, כאילו שאתה...
So he's really working out for you. And that's why it's going to be Asur, and you have to tell him to stop to work on Shabbat. And with that, we're going to end, as Hashem, the Halachot Shabbat. Those that need to make parnasa, go make parnasa, benachal, b'shava, b'simcha, u'betuv, le'vav. Yes?
How's that different from I hired the AC guy?
Again, the AC guy is not a problem at all, I told you. Even a AC guy, you can tell him, Befirush, go fix my air conditioner on Shabbat. There is no difference. This is much over there. On Shabbat, you could tell him, go fix it. And let's say the guy tells you it's going to cost you $15,000 or $5,000, $500. And you have no choice. And otherwise, your whole family is going to suffer with 95 degrees in the heat. And yeah, so you tell the guy, don't worry about it. As long as you don't take out of your mouth, you don't say out of your mouth, I'll pay you $500. The guy tells you, I'm going to need $500 after Shabbat. No problem, I'll do it for you. But I need $500. What are you going to tell him? No, don't do it? We're talking about Sakanat Nefashot. This is already over there. It's a different story. Air conditioner on Shabbat. You can't learn from that to anything. That's already Sakanat Nefashot. The Chachamim are more mekir. B'mkom tzar lo gazrina. There is a suffering here. We do not make a decree to make you suffer on Shabbat. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen v'amen.